So I'm going to take a whack at this and record as I do some dishes and just kind of get some of the things that were taken off the top of my head as I was at the gym this morning. So if you know me, I took a little journey with a system called 75 Hard, and I finished it first try. It's actually very, very difficult, but it was totally worth it. I've transformed my body and my habits and my mind. Worth the try. This isn't a commercial for 75 Hard, but sorry, my bird is talking to. It's Toozy. Hi, Toozy. Say pretty bird. No? Anyway. Hey, you can't do that. Here, we'll get them in the shot. See them? All right. So the reason why I'm even recording right now is because I am starting the second phase. Well, actually, it's called phase 1. I'm starting the second journey of the 75 Hard. Called phase 1, and part of phase 1 is to add 3 critical tests or 3 critical steps every day. And I've been kind of not doing well trying to come up with what I want to do. And I think one of them is going to be recording every day. I'm not saying that I'm going to be good at this right now, but that's the deal, right? You start, and you just start because. Not because you're good at it, but you start to get going. And it wasn't just to record. However, it's to record and teach as well, to learn to teach, believe it or not. I'm not a good teacher. I love to learn. I've always loved to learn, and I'm at times good at it. However, I think part of my skill set that's missing is learning and doing and implementing. And that's actually one of the things that I believe is such a big deal with 75 Hard is it makes you implement things. And that's something that, you know how many books I've read and not implemented a thing? Anyway, that's all changing, like in progress changing, not just like I'm stating it and declaring it, because it's not a declaration, it's more of it is in process. So 3 things to do. I think one of them is going to be doing this recording. And as I'm recording, the 3 things that I kind of want to accomplish while recording goes back to the learn, teach, do method. I do a lot of little learning throughout the day. I like to read every day, which is part of 75 Hard. I also, part of my journey was with Noom, which is a diet plan, I guess. So, and part of that's learning. And today they were talking about cognitive behavioral theory. And I've always been interested in that. In org behavior and organizational theory, organizational behavior, which were a couple classes I took in the master's. And I also like to argue, if anybody knows me. And I had a professor that was willing to talk to me about this stuff and not just preach, which I think was a large part of why I enjoyed it so much, is because a lot of this part of science that they call science, I believe it's changing and it's relative to Tuesday Bird. Do you need to be talking right now? And I'm not letting you out. We're not doing birdie dance party. Anyway, cognitive behavioral theory. And what they introduced in Noom today was, it was a triangle. And this is what made me think all about today. And it was a triangle of thoughts, behaviors, and feelings. Now, the A+ side of me, driver, A+, which I've actually backed way off on, I think, maybe not. Looks at that and sees feelings and thoughts, and kind of, I would have just not been too interested in it. However, in the last several years, I've come to find out how real those things are in my journey of life. And no kidding, right? I mean, everybody knows they're real, but how real they are as an impact of your behavior. So, what I learned was that in this triangle, just got myself, in this triangle of thoughts, feelings, and behavior, they can influence each other back and forth. They're both two ways. And while I spent some time reflecting on it on the elliptical, I started thinking about my time in Tony Robbins. I've done both the Unleash the Power Within event. Did some firewalking there. That was pretty outstanding. I shouldn't say pretty outstanding. It was pretty outstanding, though. And the Business Mastery class, which is kind of where I came up with the thought of I needed to get out of Garage Interiors, which is the company that I was running at the time. It opened up with, I'm going off on these tangents, but it opened up with the thought of, if you're not being passionate about what you do, you're doing the wrong thing. Which was a hard thing to learn and hear. An even harder thing to act on, and actually I didn't act on it. It acted on me with COVID. I'll get into that at some point probably in life, but anyway, Tony Robbins fits into this cognitive behavioral therapy triangle concept in a way that he talks about how your thoughts determine your reality. And I was doing some stinking thinking this morning, and And the lesson said you cannot change your feelings. You ever tried to tell someone just calm down? How well does that work? And not only that, but your feelings are what you are also determined on your behavior, because that's kind of what the triangle says, and your thoughts. So Tony Robbins calls it state. It's not just your feelings, but your state is the being of how you are, your feelings, your actions, and your thoughts kind of all intersect is your state. And I've, again, heard these things. I'm good at learning, but the application of it is something completely different. That's when I started singing my favorite song in my head. No, I won't even attempt to do that. I'm not going to hurt anyone's ears today. And when Noom said you can't change your feelings by just talking yourself out of it, but it did say you can imagine yourself on a vacation, or if you can use the power of your mind to change what you're thinking at the time, your thoughts, and what you're doing, your behavior. According to this triangle, you should be able to at least react. Hi, Toothy Bird. You should be able to react by having your feelings change. I'm really sorry about the bird. Anyway. So I tried it. Sing the song in my head. And I was almost moved to tears while I was on the elliptical. It was a little embarrassing, I'm not going to lie. But it inspired me to go back and think about doing this. Not just learning, but actually doing. And they say the best way to learn is to learn to teach. So, I think that's going to be one of my things, my power items for phase 1. Which means I still have 2 more, and I've thought 100 different ways of what I should do. All the way to the point of, again, back to Tony Robbins, he calls it 3 to thrive. 3 things that you do that would make the biggest impact on your life moving towards your goals, assuming you have a goal. And what are the 3 things that'll move that needle the furthest, the fastest? And those are your 3 to thrive. And if you can do those every day, imagine the possibilities of where you can go with that. Again, easy to talk about, easy to get the concept. Maybe, I don't know. For me, it was, I get the idea. And, we're all going to struggle with different things, of course. We're all going to thrive at different things as well. However, I don't know if that's right. Oops. I almost dropped the Instant Pot thing, taking the snorkel out. And if that went down the drain, Selena would not be very happy with me. Okay, so your 3 to thrive, 3 things that you do, your non-negotiables in phase 1. One of them is going to be learn, teach, do. Then I have to start learning with the mindset of being able to teach it, and then go practice it or go do it in real life. And I don't know how to demonstrate that within this framework. However, I'm sure I'll try to figure something out. So, the cognitive behavioral therapy, I'll just call it CBT from here on out. The CBT triangle, that's what Noom calls it too, the CBT triangle. Says that you can modify your thoughts by changing your behavior and your feelings, which you can't just change your feelings. That's what it said. However, there's the studies with the Superman pose. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. It's really cool. They'd say that you could actually change your posture and your physiology, as Tony Robbins calls it. The physiology of your body can determine your feelings. And that's a behavior to change your feelings. But then also you start telling yourself that you're happy or you're happy, that you are say nice things to yourself. That's all it is. Say nice things to yourself. I used to tell my daughter, actually I still do quite a bit, there's plenty of mean people out there in the world to be mean to you. You should be the nicest person to yourself. And I truly believe that. And again, that goes back into your thoughts. So if you change your thoughts, change your behaviors, then your feelings will change. I don't know who needs to hear this, and it's probably me. I probably need to hear this the most. And I think just right now, I think I just found my second non-negotiable of the day. I've been obsessed with this thought for the last several years, especially lately when I haven't been feeling a lot of it. Feeling. That's an interesting thing. Is it a feeling? It's a really interesting thought. So, several years back, I started a online class for not brand new business owners, but business owners that have been there for a few years, 3 years or so, how to start working on your business and not just in your business. And I did it from a different perspective, the perspective of juggling and doing it with joy. Called it the Joyful Juggler. I love juggling, or I used to juggle a lot. I haven't really been juggling at all lately, but I might have to change that again. That might be number 3. Who knows? So I didn't really follow through with that. Another problem of mine. An opportunity, if you will, to to know that I have something that I know about myself that I can work on. I think that that is stronger than thinking that you have no flaws. But again, that's another tangent. So the session is, what is joy? Thinking about getting together with people, call it a podcast, I guess, and just discussing the concept of what is joy. Because I think part of why Joyful Juggler didn't continue was because I was so focused on the business side of things, which, granted, that's what it was for. So focused on the business side of things, I did not focus well on the joy side of things, and I should have. Definitely should have. So now I think my number 2 idea is going to be joy. And I don't know what that means. It might be, how do I define joy? How do I bring joy into life? How do I bring joy into others' lives? How do I work in a way that brings joy to people enough to be joyful to others? Everyone talks about how dark everything is right now. And they're not wrong. But you focus on the dark, and you start bringing dark. That's a not self-fulfilling prophecy. It's a one thing leads into the other, leads into the other, leads into the other. It might fit right in that cognitive behavioral CBT triangle. And that, I didn't even know I was going to go there. So it might be one of those things where you think about how dark things are. So you believe how dark things are, which might cause you to behave in a dark way or behave as if everything is dark. Now think about this. If you're focused on joy, there's that focus word. If you're focused on joy, maybe if you're thinking about joy, you start behaving in a joyful way, whatever that means. And now you got to define what joy is again. So you start behaving in a joyful way. And then you'll feel joyful. Right? It's an interesting thought, and that might be my number 2 concept and it has to develop into something, though. I can't just have a concept. It has to be an action. Help me out. What do you think could be the action? Just thinking about joy for... I don't know if that's enough, because there's that learn, think, do. That's kind of what's been ringing in my heads today. Learn, think, do. Which is why I'm talking to you right now. So I don't know what it is yet, but I think there's something there. Maybe you guys can help me out. Maybe no one's going to ever hear this and never listen to it, but who knows? Maybe you will. And maybe you can help me, and who knows? Maybe this could be the start of something magnificent. Could be. I guess stranger things have happened from smaller seeds, right? And I did have an idea for number 3 while we were talking. Now I don't remember what it was. Hopefully I can watch this video and come back up with it. But I'm kind of finished with the dishes for now. So I'm going to end this out. It's just over 25 minutes. But I guess I'm going to do a small recap. I'm going to record every day during phase 1, which I'm going to begin on October 1st. And this recording is going to be learn, think, do. So, I don't think that format is 100% solidified on what that looks like, but that's going to be the format. Whatever I'm learning, I'm going to talk about. And whatever I talk about or teach about, I'm going to go do something about it that day. So thank you for helping me think this through. I appreciate you listening this far. If you got this far and you like anything about this, let me know what you like about it, because who knows? Maybe I might end up decent at this at some point, or maybe I don't. Maybe it's 30 days of just absolute nonsense, and at least I tried, right? And think about that joy. What is joy? If you have something interesting, let's get together. Let's record and just talk to everybody and just say, hey, what is joy? And just have a discussion. I think that'd be a fun thing to talk about. And again, go back to the whole CBT triangle. If we can think about it, maybe we can behave like that. And if we behave like that, we'll feel it. I think that's worth exploring. So again, thanks for taking this time with me. I hope you could hear. I know the bird, I'm blocking him, but he was not used to this, obviously. And might have made it a little difficult to watch, so maybe I made it difficult to watch, but thank you so much for your time. And I look forward to, I guess, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I should start getting in the habit of doing this every day now. Wait until October 1st. But, all right. God bless. We'll talk soon. Thanks.